Go. All right. Welcome everyone to the last neighborhood association meeting of the year. We don't have a meeting in December. I know everyone's sad about that, but take the time for yourself. As always, start with some ground rules. If you're online, enter your questions in the chat. If you're here in person, please no interruptions. If you have a question or comment, please raise your hand. Might ask you to come up front to speak because audio is better captured on the computer and I don't have a mic. Agenda for today, start out with public comment. If anyone has anything to share, concerns, comments, feedback, hate mail, love mail, it all funnels back to us. Treasurer's report, Evan will cover that. We'll go into the crime and safety report. We have Officer Walker online. Ron will cover some neighborhood updates. We also have Michael Browning here with ward updates. We'll go into events and news as well as tonight's election for the 2026 board. And then you see some lovely boards here. Those are art project concepts for the Tower Grove Ave at I-44 overpass. They're taking public comment on that, so left some comment cards and some pens. You can take some time towards the end of the meeting and look through those concepts and provide feedback on which ones you like or don't like or how you want them different. I don't know. Anyways, start out with public comment. Anyone here to have some comments, concerns? Yes, Brian.
As always, the public comment, shout out to Spire, they finished the study place, Lunar showed up for another month, and the rock pile has gone showed up for another month, so shout out to them, I don't know how they do it.
The consistency is remarkable, huh? Ron, anything to address on that? Yeah. Anybody else have thoughts, comments, concerns? No? Great. We'll get started then.
I do want to.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, and everybody else is sorry. See song for playing.
Yes, I think their last weekend is this coming weekend. Apparently there is somebody who is going into that space. They're a little bit on embargo. We'll see if we can squeak it out of Ron, if he can share any updates on that. Oh. Hey. Well, I'll stick around until after the meeting then. Talk about Songbird and the space.
I don't have any updates there.
Yes. Zen.
Since Officer Walker isn't here.
He's online.
But you're online, yay, I watched Walker. I didn't get any feedback from lately on Friday or Saturday or Sunday. There's been groups hanging out in the middle of Shoda Park with guns, brandished. There's no property, so apparently that's allowed. You're screaming and yelling and threatening people, which I have footage on. I should give really because this is that and nobody on our all the police literally told me somebody made one police call to act reporting. When you see groups of people at midnight or running and brandishing guns at Shoda Park, no, it's not illegal, but if you call the police, we can put a report in, we have 7 cameras on it. Makes sense. It is illegal to brandish your weapon. That is still the officer came to my house and no weapon. Well, there's a difference between brandishing and just here. But open carry has also been, if you don't have concealed carry permit, which I'm betting these people don't. So the officer should be in one of them. Said it had to call. Literally, anybody can make any call. But if we activate the call, you can't put it on you.
Okay, Dan.
Yeah.
If you can, I am on my way there, so I don't know if they want to hold off on their questions and you want to start with someone else,
Sure.
and I can start when I get there.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah. That sounds great. We'll do. Okay, we will save that for when Officer Walker gets here. Yeah. All right. Treasurer's report, Evan, if you wanna dive into that real quick?
Yeah, we had $136 of used donations. If you wanna donate money, you can, give me in cash or check or any board member, Cash App. If that is not preferred right now because there are some issues with it having to go to a personal account. We're trying to get like a nonprofit account. In your business account, because these are prohibited. So we're still trying to figure that out. We did purchase the dog waste station for Show Park, for the dog park. So we can put that in. So,
Yeah, let's go. It's exciting. Yeah, we'll dive into that in just a couple of minutes. Elections.
yeah, we do have a volunteer help. So that's important details in it. So.
Yeah, no, that's great. Thanks for doing that. As Evan mentioned, and as Brian alluded to, elections are tonight for the next board. To vote, you need to be a dues paying member. Dues are pay what you can. Previous months, it's been $10 or so. But we made it a pay what you can model so that anyone become a dues paying member and have an equal voice in voting or representing the neighborhood. So if you'd like to become a dues paying member and vote tonight, you can pay cash or check to Evan or myself, and we'll mark you down. We'll wait until Officer Walker gets here to do crime and safety updates, so we will jump it over to Ron for neighborhood updates.
I am Ron, the neighborhood improvement specialist. There's a few new cases, so I'll introduce myself as your liaison to all the city departments on the ground, most every day. And at Central West End also, Forest Park Southeast. And I monitor the infrastructure, safety and security, neighborhood, listen to your concerns. So please contact me like Ron does all the time with a lot of good stuff. So I know what's going on. I'm here usually 8 to 5 on the streets, but I'm not here from 5 till later. So, and I don't necessarily always go to Metro Block. So please keep me in the loop. I can get my cards out afterwards if you want to buy them. Or things up there. I hope the new recycling location, Sarah is working out for you guys. Can take everything over there. That will be maybe, I don't know, Case Highway might be closer. But right at Sarah and Lady, there's a place for them.
Related on the website, it's showing that location. Sure.
Okay.
Just that's why I don't know if we'll look at that video.
That needs to change.
Yeah.
Thank you for
The address, I think is right, but.
We are gonna move on to Clay. We're gonna move on to Clay surrounding the corner zone because they're gonna be starting working on the a problem with the Sarah Clay. We need access. We'll pick up this week, probably happen on Thursday this week. Don't have any big development news. I know that the guy that's doing the soccer pitch down here is still planning to move forward. Taking a little longer than usual, but that's all we got still. Any other questions you guys have?
The other recycling location on Kingside, I think the website, I haven't checked it lately, but when it first came about, I had like hours of operation. That doesn't seem to be the list, it's not opening for that, but Just
The hours of operation related to the guy that used to have on site that was taking like televisions and electronic equipment, but the dumpsters are always open. Yes.
Previously, you discussed, the Uber van on kind of the third Chestnut. Like where they drop off. Has there been any, like, more discussion of that? I know this recently biased, they have to not drive it, basically. It's just,
No, that's something the borough Senate needs to come to a decision on where they want to maybe try to designate the location for ride share. And then we would have to they have a good neighbor agreement with the ride share companies to say, okay, please don't pick up here. Plus it ended up being an ordinance to create a zone, but I don't see that happening. It's gonna be difficult to stop, but I understand it, so. I don't have any committees. Brian had a question before the meeting about drug use in the park and drug paraphernalia around the playground equipment. If anybody's seen anybody using out there, obviously try to get a description of people on time of day, call it in. Officer Walker will have her info up here too, you can have her directly. But we need to shut that stuff down. We don't need that in this park. Especially when kids are there. So.
And kids are there, has to be night.
Yeah, supervisor.
Never.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Officer Walker is outside, but we'll wait until she's in. So we will turn it over to Alderman Michael Browning for some ward updates.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. Michael Browning, as you're all from the ward. I also have Central West End and Doak, and a little bit of the Bandler neighborhood of the ward. I have just a few updates for you tonight. The first of which is that we're continuing on the traffic study for Shoto Avenue right out in front here. We're gonna have a date for that. I don't have that date yet, but just stay tuned. We are looking at plans to add bicycle facilities to that road and narrow it up a little bit because it is a whopping 50 feet wide right now, which, you know, it's too much road for what it is, but also leaves us room to play with, so that's not a good thing. So we're gonna be bringing that to you, and I'll be announcing that date as soon as I have it. As far as other things go, we had a town hall last week for Wendell. If you ever go up that way, we did a open house with a window traffic study. The Shoto traffic study will be very similar to that, where you get some options to look at and be able to kind of dig into the details, but that was a very successful event, and just I continue my focus on trying to make the neighborhood streets safer. It's a very walkable community, and so I want to make sure that you all can get around without having to worry about getting hit by reckless drivers or just get around however you choose to get around. Speaking of, I think Taylor Avenue, we did have some traffic calming that's happening in that. It's still gonna happen, but unfortunately, we weren't able to get it paved this fall, so we're gonna have to wait for the spring to do that. In the meantime, we did get all the ADA ramps replaced and or installed, so in cases they weren't accessible. And the street department did come back and create asphalt ramps in the meantime, so those should all be accessible. I know that they poured for a little bit there. We just were waiting for them to come out and kind of finish that out. But that's not gonna be permanent. Eventually, the street's going to get repaved and everything will look really nice and match up. As well as some bump outs and some painted crosswalks. So again, just continue to try to make the streets safer for you all. Update from the city, we had a 5-hour housing urban development and zoning meeting today, where we got an update on the American Rescue Plan Act money. You may see in the news that the city is doing very poorly at spending that money, but the good news is, and for the update we got today, a lot of departments are on track to complete spending of that before the deadline, when we would have to move back to federal government. It is my goal as your representative, and also the city's goal to have all that money spent. The good news of that is that a lot of that money that we've been waiting for is actually to start being seen out in our environment soon. So if you're a frequent driver of Jefferson, you may realize that's a terrible road to drive on right now. That's supposed to be repaved grand. Kings Highway is going to be finished in our ward. For some reason, we got stuck at the end. They did the north part, then they did the south part, and now we're gonna get our part done in the spring. So lots of good updates coming there, as well as money just, that will be spent and then kind of worked out onto the streets. Anything else? I'll take some questions if anyone has any, but on the note of Spire, yes, I'm trying to stay on top of Spire. They're hard to stay on top of. You kind of do try to do what they want, but the good news is that the ordinance we passed last year is mostly being abided by, and ramps, what's far being ramps, as much as possible, yes.
Well, the asphalt was stays for so long.
There's
The
no
last
traveling,
while,
but-
the summer street, they should stay, they should come asphalt again.
Yes, okay, let me know if traveling, because that we can contact them and ask them to come back, it's travel here. Alright, I'll get it. But I know that's very annoying to look, correct, yes. So, other than that, yeah, we're working on, several tornado relief items on board right now, and it's gonna be a struggle, I'm not sure about it, the city's in a bad spot with this tornado. The federal help did not come through the way it needs to, and so we are going to have to do a lot with a small amount of resources. That means that we're going to have to spread those resources strategically and with care. And so, again, I'm committed to doing what it takes to make sure we help our neighbors, especially on the north side. Because we have to do what it takes to repair these communities. It's not their fault, it's not anyone's fault, tornado hit. But it is our responsibility now to try to prepare that as best as we can. So that's all the things I have. The other questions?
Can you speak a little bit into what were the jury houses down?
Yeah, so right now, last update I have on that is that the developer that was looking to build the apartment building there is no longer planning that building. They're going to put the land up for sale. They're looking for someone to take over the site. I've spoken with them and really encouraged them to find a responsible developer and they've given me at least their verbal commitment that they're going to be looking for someone who can get a project there done. And they're gonna quality projects. They make their words to me where we know how rigorous the process is in your neighborhood, and so we're not looking to select developer, you're not getting to do that process. Meaning that, you know, we do try to do a lot of good community engagement around any large development like that in the neighborhood, because we want to make sure that the neighborhood is benefiting from it as well. And that it's being conscious of, you know, neighbors and how they experience that area. And so I will commit that whatever happens with that piece of land, we'll go back to the neighborhood and we'll have a community engagement meeting for whatever is proposed there. Yes, what land is that? You referring to? Which, what land is that that you referring to? That is the land that exists between Oakland Avenue and Tower Grove Avenue and Kings Highway. It used to be a row of abandoned houses, those of us who live in the neighborhood a while, we remember those were empty for decades, they were pretty. Just as a reminder, folks, they were really bad shape. So they were not rehab possibilities, but they were also active hazards. They were being used as drug dens, homeless people were moving into them. Someone was going to get hurt. So we're grateful that the previous developer did us a favor by tearing it down, but unfortunately we'll have to wait before we see something up there. But we definitely do want, you know, at least I can say, I would like to see more housing in the neighborhood. It is what helps keep the neighborhood affordable if we can do some more units for people to too. So we're just gonna hold on and see what happens with that. But for now, that developer is actually significant. Yes,
What about the 6 addresses, the fire, 6 addresses on Kings Highway?
on Kings Highway.
Right, when you turn on Kings Highway, or sorry, on Manchester.
Yes. Different developer for that, we are working, there is a demolition order for the house that you can just see straight through. And we're going to continue, to see if we can get them to, either sell somebody who will do something there or, take care of their properties themselves. But it's been kind of touch and go, communication not great, with that developer, and so we're just doing what we can to try to make sure it stays safe. The city does think we have a new fines and fee structure that passed last year. We're really sponsored that, option fines and fees that kind of helps fight a figurative fire in these people who buy properties, because we have some beautiful brick buildings in the city that people neglect them, let them fall apart, but they get past the point where we can save them, or at least it becomes economically impossible to save them. Then we lose some of our heritage, so I think it's important that we hold people accountable. That being said, those homes are likely headed for a demo in some. It would be my preference that we can get that taken care of, so that we don't have that issue sort of, I think we represent this well, but we're doing what we can. Thank you.
That's sort of a question, but just kind of as a development, it's just a curiosity. I guess the buy building, because that my developer has that whole track.
Yes, people, yeah, it's one development, it's all.
As their approach to term regular citizen, has there been any change from the city in this? Since they really especially show, which was really best last year. I was at these meetings, I don't know.
Yeah, so Shorto is one of those roads that should be plowed in the winter, but happened with that snowstorm last year, January, it was rather an unusual storm in that it iced and it snowed, and then we had about 3 weeks of very, very cold weather that just kept everything brown. Normally, we get a little hotter weather and it just melts on its own after a little bit, but that is very difficult to clean up because the temperature never even approached about freezing. So we have the improvements though. The city has stocked up on salt this year. There's a plan to pre-treat the roads, which wasn't done before that storm last time, which was a failure. And I think we saw the political consequences of that. So there is a better plan this year, and the mayor's office did tout a new plan for all of that, which is as a reminder for everybody, we do not plow residential streets and side streets. That's mostly at respect for you all field and the end of your cars. So that will still be something that you'll have to come in and out of, but hopefully we won't get a storm like that yet, where it's just so slick that you can grow it bigger.
Will they plow show of their street plates over it?
Yes, yeah, they'll still plow the street plates, and that's another reason why we require them to grant the street plates, because that makes it easier to apply.
Cool.
Any other questions? Your questions? Okay. Well, if anyone needs to reach out to me, do so by email. My email is brownie@stlewis-mo.gov. Also, you can reach out to me by phone. My phone number on the website, or right there. And that leads to my last thing. I am hiring for a new legislative assistant. So my legislative assistant got a big promotion. She's going to be the new policy advisor to the mayor, which I'm very proud of. She's great, but unfortunately, that means I need to find a new assistant. So job pays about $58,000 a year. Looking for someone who's really policy oriented. So if you or someone you know might be interested, please let them know. The job posting is on the website, and the application will be for the meeting. Thank you all.
Awesome. Thank you, Michael. We will turn it over to Officer Walker with crime and safety updates, and if there's any questions for her as well that she can answer.
No, I have maybe calls, I mean, I want to call. Starting everybody, you might have a question. Was 8 hours after the incident, there was no media analysis. The detective took this time, cut off, and said, one called at 1 a.m. The end of the recording, I have to tie this to. Which, what happened is, when people came out for 3 hours or so, machine guns, they walked around, went to the car. I have a secondary camera that picks them up. My roommates told I was asleep. Okay, I'm asleep. My roommates told me there was they actually fire paint. No, they didn't. The guys were threatening these women for money. It's very volatile. So big game said, "On my feet." But there was not tons visible. This was between 1 a.m. and 2:30 a.m. I think a week or so ago. Police drove by. Okay. Now I'm not talking police findings. That's all I got on camera. It's right in front of my building in the block, but they left the vehicle.
they went into the park. It's going on. Okay, you'll send me those videos. And you're gonna have to come over with the job, it's like, meetings. I have someone like that, but oh, yeah. What do you speak with, you know, so. I think I have 2 minutes. I'll be more, so we can figure out who spoke it, who had the video, and it's something that I can have one of that's going down of this tech savvy. And all over and said there's something they can do, that we put together, stage and something we can have to do with down time. That happened down, that we can make, could be a good comparison to what happened in October, and their questions. Anybody had been seen, and not I have my suspicion. Probably tomorrow, let's talk about it, again, maybe that. All right, we heard that, tomorrow, we can talk and figure this all out. Just a quick reminder, holiday season is upon us, a lot of people are going to be having delivery stuff coming to our home. We encourage you, if not going to be at home, to practice get delivered, to have neighbors pick them up, pick their packages up from the FedEx, UPS, or the post office, so that they're not sitting out there on your porch waiting for you to come, because we all know that people are out there, one of these porch fires, they're going to steal what's out there visible. They do follow these trucks around, snatching up property, so if you mindful that you're not gonna be home, scheduled for the pickup, we want to pick up spots to satellite offices, so that your property don't be stolen. I did get a call regarding someone in 2200 block of Gibson, say that his bike was stolen and maybe the person came back again and tried it in somebody's house, kind of working through that when we got a couple of the computer. If you guys have noticed this suspicious activity going on in your neighborhood, please call me. I mean, it may take us a minute to get there, but calling us, getting on our radar, give us what you could as you can about what's going on, the person involved, if the wrong book, the burn, if the cars, that type of thing. So when our officers are responding, they come across this person, they can possibly stop a blocker to aware of what's going on in this thing. We know who we're dealing with and looking for. I also encourage people to leave a call back. A lot of people call and they're, I don't want to see, I just want to be anonymous. If you leave a call back, the chances that those officers out there coming out and they have questions to ask you about the incident. We can't get a lot of information, you know, sometimes the dispatchers don't put everything in those calls. So just kind of trying to figure out, leave a call back, they will call you back on the phone. They will not come to your door. You can't tell the dispatcher, hey, I will talk by phone. I don't want nobody knocking on the door. Say phone only. They will only contact you back on the phone. And I encourage you to do that because a lot of times when you do come out, you know, it's questions that we need, you know, questions that we need to ask, information that we need, but we don't get it because we have nobody to call back because of the call. So I always say, leave your name, leave your number, so that also is coming out to call you back if they need more information. And also, as too, you may want to know what happened on that call. That way, it also say, hey, call me back, I want to know. They can't call you back and update you on what happened. If they don't have a number, can't call you back and update it again, rehearse it, and you want to know what happened. And sometimes I have no proof. We do have some systems, like Tower Grove Ave services. You know, some instances will pick up in one, some may not pick up in the other. So I do try to run both systems to see if something, you know, catches. And sometimes it does, sometimes it don't. Especially when we may call and we just get the intersection versus an accident. The intersections are really hard to pick up. Especially like the accidents. Took a minute, they called me about accident, and I couldn't find it. And we looked, and it came up to me where they used the intersection, and the officers came out, they didn't have the information to get the address. So it took us a while going back and forth trying to figure that out. So if you give a good address, good callback, good description, that kind of helps us out. And again, call. I know it's frustrating, you know, call, they say, let's fly, get there, but for sure, you know, officers want to call. But they're going to get there. Some supervisors may call you back with something that they can take over the phone. They will refer you to our telephone court system, and those guys and girls will call you back and do the reports on the phone. But again, if there's something that you want officers to come out and take the report, they will send an officer out. That's what you want them to do. Again, back on some of the upgrades, Cadillac converters. I have noticed that Cadillac converters have been coming up this month on cars.
Not any neighborhood, so you're kind of scattered out. So be mindful that, like, your cars, you may take value with your cars, in that nature, same with your garages, house doors, and make sure everything is locked up. House windows, big ones that are like, lights are outside of your house, you don't wanna leave your lights on, give motion lights. Big up, so the brighter it is, that you're one of those somewhere else where it's dark, they can deal with it. Um, oil sales, car clubs, the kid club, you don't have to, five star things that, center out, we still sell them. They may have them down in, city hall, a couple of locations where I know you can get them, we only have some of the states where we have been, giving you lately. Park clubs work, and also have some people, but again, we are in a season where they're gonna be after against cars. Especially we have folks that like to want the cars, the keys in it, when the cars going in the winter time. I'm down the street, they go see your car, they put something, park up there, they make up, when they slow them down. They make up them not to get your car stolen again, it happens, I have a car that was stolen, they kept about a block away with the club on the car, so. Things happen, I don't know how secure that it, club was on the car, but you did get a block away. Push starts, they can't get a few blocks away to go from clear it down. So just remind, put them on there, or, slip it out and sit in the car, while your car is rolling up, or slip it out, get your car to drive. Again, if you sit, you can't come car, you put there, sit, just sit in your car, and not watch the surroundings. Brothers out there, they're trying to do stuff, and here you are sitting, and you come sorry. So that's kind of my things, just because the winter is coming, again, it's a holiday, so lock up, you like to buy, you sit in your house, make sure your house and everything are locked up, keep your cameras on, light outside, see something, say something, that's basically all I got, but, if anything, anybody wants to talk to me about one, you guys have a number, you have an email, my mom was pretty cut out, you put your, say my phone, whatever it is you want to do it. Talk about whatever concerns you have. Something you guys want us to look into or talk about, follow up, just let me know, and, we'll see what we can do. And we'll again, talk to more, trying to bring the whole show apart. So that's all I had. Think I have any questions for me? We'll be here for a few more minutes. Fast update, because the coops are out here. My granddaughter and my husband came down from a couple of days ago. It's great, it's everything is fine in my house. If we have it, they work out.
Awesome. Thank you, Officer Walker. That leads us into events and news. We'll start with 2026 board elections first. Want to give a big thanks to Mark and to Roger for serving on the board this year. The board puts in a lot of effort to put on events around the neighborhood and make it a better place for everyone to live. This is just one of the many things we do, this monthly meeting to get everyone together to share news and updates and to get you connected with important city figures that you can talk one-on-one with. It's really hard to get that time otherwise. This board for 2026, this is not right, not repeating 2025. These are your nominees for 2026. For President, Evan. Evan has served the past couple years as our treasurer. Myself taking a back seat a little bit as vice president. We have John, who has nominated himself as secretary. John lives really closely in proximity to the location we're at today. Excited to have him join the board. Haley was member at large last year. She has nominated herself to be next year's treasurer. And then member at large is Tim Howell. There he is. I believe he calls himself the mayor of the neighborhood. Excited to have him join the board. He's very passionate about the neighborhood as well. So how voting works, according to the bylaws, is that you need to be a dues paying member to vote. If you'd like to vote and you're not a dues paying member, dues are pay what you can. If you can only pay $1, great. More, wonderful. If you'd like to make those dues, you can make them to myself or to Evan. We have pens and paper for those who are dues paying members. If you know you're a dues paying member, please raise your hand. DJ and Tom, I know you are dues paying members, and I have a link for you guys to use to fill out an online ballot. I will send it to you in the chat if that is okay. Tom sent it to you.
I mean, I thought it was a fierce debate.
And then DJ sending a link to you.
That's fine. No, that's okay. I saw it. Yeah. It's still bad.
Let's see, how do I?
Yeah.
All right, we got one response.
Dan, why should we elect you president?
Great question. You don't have to.
I want to work with your,
What's that?
I would like to work with your.
My opponent? Nobody? Let's see, how do I know?
You can, keep the pens to put comments for that, and then when you're done with the pens, set them back on the table. Up here.
I don't know if you need to shuffle them, but you can.
This goes. Perhaps, taking over the treasurer position. Will these positions be highly
Salaries,
You get paid in gratitude and thanks by some individuals.
same salary is last.
Can't wait to find that out.
Yes, is there anyone else?
And we have responses online too. Look at that. Is it unanimous?
When you make the election.
Any minute now.
Yep. Passing them up. Unanimous.
Great. This here. Great. Congratulations to our 2026 board members. Evan, Dan, John, Haley, and Tim. Oh.
As well.
Hopefully they don't go too far away, Roger. I know you might be leaving or something. But Mark, I know you're stuck here, so we'll need your hands. Don't go too far, okay? Cool, thanks. Looking forward to another year with everybody and making this neighborhood a better place. Excited to have new perspectives, new hands to help. I'll be taking a step back more as a consultant role. So however you guys want to shape these meetings, the events that we do, all the power to you. Yeah. All right. Great. Dan, shut up. Okay. Tree planting on Norfolk. We're planting how many trees, Cami? 34 trees. Big thanks to Forest Relief's Project Community Tree, which allows anyone to apply for free trees to plant in public locations. We have a handful of trees here that we'll be planting on December 7th, starting at 1 p.m. Meeting at the 4200 block of Norfolk. We're digging holes, planting trees, adding mulch rings around those trees and watering those trees. Tools will be provided, but if you have your own, especially wheelbarrows, shovels, matlocks, gloves, water bottles, definitely bring those. The more hands we can get, the more trees we can plant quicker, and the faster they can get in the ground.
It's probably gonna be cold, so.
You know, it'll probably be cold too. We're also looking for a few folks to meet ahead of time to help set up. So if you're interested day of or before that, Cami is here in person and her contact information is on the screen as well at lewis.cami@gmail.com. And if you're interested in St. Louis Neighborhood Foresters, their website is there at stlnf.org. They do a lot of great work around many neighborhoods in St. Louis, making our streetscapes more walkable, healthier for all of us, and prettier. We love trees, right? Yes, yes, we love trees. In other news, Biscuit Town at Neon Greens is open. Absolutely delicious. 2 thumbs up from Brian over there. What's that? Delicious. Happy to have breakfast back at that corner since Rise left.
Space is available for a breakfast.
Are they gone? Oh, Tempest. Yeah.
Empty for a few years now.
All right.
Yeah, still not a proper breakfast nook in the Grove. We're gonna make that happen. Yeah. Look forward to working with Roger on that.
Biscuits are delicious though. They're open Thursday through Monday. They look a lot like Rise's biscuit sandwiches, which I miss so much, but happy to have Biscuit Town at Neon Greens.
Was it 8 to 11 Thursday?
Yeah, 8 to 11, open Thursday through Monday.
Fantastic. And with Songbird phasing out.
Yeah.
It's not. It doesn't compare to Songbird.
It does not, but it is somewhat upsetting.
No, correct.
Lastly, we do have some boards up here. If you're not familiar with the project happening along Tower Grove, soon Van Eventer, and soon after Sarah, a separated bike lane is being installed along Tower Grove and Van Eventer and Sarah. At the site under the 44 overpass, they did a recent call for artists to come up with some concepts to make that area underneath the bridge more vibrant, brighter, and a more pleasant place to bike through. So up here we have those boards and we have comment cards for you to leave any feedback on those boards. You can take the rest of the meeting to get up and look at the boards, provide your comments. You can't see the boards up there. Here are some renderings up here. If you are online, you can also go to the towergroveconnector.com/public-art. And there you'll find these concepts to provide feedback as well. They're taking feedback up through December 3rd. And then they'll make a final decision on which concept to move forward on. So that's basically how we're going to spend the rest of the meeting. You guys want to provide comments on that? Otherwise, no meeting in December. Next event is a tree planting event on Norfolk on December 7th. Our next meeting is January 20th. We'll have Evan Parker from the Missouri Department of Conservation talk on invasive and native plants. If you have topics you'd like, topics of interest or speakers you'd like to have come and present, we are definitely taking that feedback. This was a speaker nominated by Cami. Again, we love our plants and we love talking about how we can get rid of invasive plants and plant native plants in their spot. So we're having Evan speak. If you have anybody you'd like to come and present, just hit up forestparksoutheast@gmail.com and you can reach out. With that said, take a look at the boards, provide some comments and feedback. I will give this back to those who gave it to us to take into consideration. Yeah. Look at that. Thanks. Great.
Thanks, Dan.
Welcome. Thanks, DJ.
Okay, so you can, Tim, that is cycle back.